Greetings. I'm making this video to the worldwide universal basic income family, the guaranteed income family, the economic security project family, all the universities that are investigating universal basic income as a curriculum change and getting their students to participate as a form of civic engagement in the current 2020 presidential campaign for the United States of America. Good evening. My name is JAWAD HAKEEM 2020. I am a U.S. presidential candidate. I am making this video because I know there's a lot of different groups around the world. Every single country around the world is currently engaged in trying to implement universal basic income. Universal basic income, for anyone who does not know, is a guaranteed allotment of money that is given to citizens of any individual country to allow them to have purchasing power to be able to raise themselves up with upward mobility. We know there's a lot of wealth inequality in the world. There's global inequality in the world. We have a world of haves and a world of have-nots. So you have UC Berkeley, you have Harvard, you have DePaul, you have a lot of other universities who are looking in how to solve income inequality, how to bridge the gap of the 99.9 of we the people who are under $1 million, and we're seeking to join the 1%, the elite, who are $1 million and over, and we want to have 100% society of equality. I'm making this video, JAWAD HAKEEM, U.S. presidential candidate. Also, I'm known as Prince Mahdi Hakeem. Those are some YouTube names. Joker Beats Trump is my slogan. Training a 21st century workforce is my subtitle. Now, I want to be a trainer of trainers for those who are interested in universal basic income implementation around the world. First, we want to remember that FDR established the wants, those things, those barriers to financial freedom. And we want to be able to solve the problems that becomes impediments to financial freedom. So when we take an entrepreneur who wants to be financially free, there are impediments to financial freedom. Number one, any individual around the world needs to have some sort of vocation that they are involved in that generates income. We are calling it a job because a job is universal secure. So it's universal security to have a job, even if you are creating your own job, like doing DoorDash, as doing Uber, as doing Lyft, as doing any side hustle or anything within the gig economy. So what we're saying to universal basic income experts around the world is you have to first find a recipient and then find some way to generate income. Once that recipient is generating income, they become a micro entrepreneur, no matter what they're doing to generate income. We want to make sure that income is being generated per each participant in the universal basic income implementation projects. So, with income being generated, we want to generate more and more income, add more and more capital until we can push the recipient up to $5,000 a month. Now, we can start a global universal basic income program by using $10 a month globally to get everyone wired into a system. I agree with that, but I believe we can start it at $50 a month. We don't want to attach universal basic income implementation to government and government expenditures or government distribution. So when we talk about universal basic income for America, universal basic income from Russia, universal basic income for Netherlands, universal basic income from the UK, universal basic income New Zealand, universal basic income Canada, wherever we're talking about universal basic income, number one, from JAWAD HAKEEM, who is also running with Andrew Yang in the election 2020, who is not running for any particular nomination. I am not running for a nomination. I'm going to actually be a choice to pick for the highest office of the land on Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020. We want to be sure when we're talking about universal basic income that we answer a major question. When we make America think harder, what happens if the Democrats do not choose the likely candidate, which should be Andrew Yang? What happens? We know that the conversation of universal basic income does not end, but what we say is, as a U.S. presidential candidate that's running on universal basic income, we want to pass the baton over to the next candidate who not only wants to see universal basic income for America, but wants to see universal basic income for the world. Now, I owe this to Bert Constable of the Daily Herald, who wrote an article June 5th, 2018, that explained that we do have various candidates that are running for office in the United States, and we do have a man from Zion who not only wants universal basic income at $5,000 a month, not sourced from taxpayer dollars, for America, but wants $5,000 a month for everyone in the world. So that article you can find when you Google my name, JAWAD HASHEM HAKEEM 2020. You'll see a Daily Herald article by Bert Constable. So at first, on prima facie, and just looking at the article, you would think that it's an article to show all the jokers who are running for president in America. There's currently, I believe, 905 candidates. Of course, these candidates are not necessarily serious, but the fact is there's more candidates than just a Democrat or Republican candidates for America politics. What we're saying is we're not interested in just universal basic income for America. So when you're interested in Andrew Yang for president, we have to consider, and I'm making America think harder. With all the universal basic income pilots and all those researching universal basic income around the world, why do we just limit universal basic income to America? I, as a U.S. presidential candidate, of course, American electorate is who I'm focusing on first. But I am an engineer and architect of a codified implementation strategy for universal basic income around the world. We have to phase that in starting at $50 around the world. It phases to $500 around the world, and it sets a floor at $5,000. So I've just changed my cover page to my Twitter account to show FDR speaking about the basic needs. Every human being on this planet, and we are with the Comcast Universal Global Citizen Movement, every citizen around this planet needs to have a way to establish income, and that income should be purchasing power. And so that purchasing power is universal basic income, or that guaranteed income, just like the game of Monopoly, is given to every global citizen to start the game to enter the global economy. That should be a decent wage, as FDR explained. It should be a decent wage, and we're saying a decent wage is $5,000 a month, which is $35 per hour. We think $1,000 is too low. It should be $5,000 a month. But Andrew Yang chose $1,000 because he knows he's rebranding welfare, and $1,000 is not enough for the 21st century for anyone to pull themselves up by their own bootstraps. So what we're saying is not just a job, it's not that the decent wage and living, is also to make sure that everyone has a home. So apartment, crib, condo, any Airbnb, we want to make sure everyone has a home, and we'll prepare to subsidize that. So per day, we'll give anyone who's earning income, any recipient of the Universal Basic Income Project, and this is for the world. I want UBI experts to look at this for the world, that you can actually, if you find someone who's able to earn income and you're teaching them to earn income, we're saying that you can buy them the keys to a home. They have to pay per day in order to get them to generate income per day. The gig economy allows you to generate income per day. So you generate income per day, and you're giving keys to a home that you pay for per day. You generate income per day, and you're giving keys to a car that you're able to drive per day. Having a fully furnished home with lights, water, electricity around the world, having a vehicle to drive around the world, allows everybody who's thinking about universal basic income, if you approach it at this level, it allows the individual to constantly add income and add value to themselves. So as they have a vehicle, they now can do DoorDash, they now can do gig economy, they now could download side hustle app, they now can download freelancing app, they now can do various things to deliver food, to deliver things, they can do things to create income. See, we're part of the collaborative consumption movement. As we move into the 21st century, we're really speaking about collaborative consumption. We're speaking about everyone inking themselves and everyone becoming a business owner. When everyone becomes a business owner, even if that's a micro business, if everyone is earning income, Then we have more goods and services that we can spread around. If everyone has purchasing power, then we can purchase from more individuals. We need to grow the global economy. So if we're thinking about universal basic income and you're thinking about voting for Andrew Yang, we want you to do that for the Democratic nomination. But if we're going to make America think harder and math, hashtag math, then we're saying, what is better? For the monies to be sourced for universal basic income to come from the government, or should it be coming from the actual recipient who is generating their own universal basic income? So we can take government out of this. This should be stateless, it should be cashless, and we should make sure that everyone has the purchasing power to lift themselves up by their own bootstraps. Let the recipient be the director of their own upward mobility, and we're looking for partners and stakeholders all over the universal basic income world. We're looking forward to working with UC Berkeley. We're looking forward to work with Harvard University, and we're looking forward to work with all universities to make this a curriculum changer where you can involve all your students as civic engagement into this current 2020 election, where we can find out why the entire world is interested in universal basic income, and we can train all participants to become successful in their own universal basic income, and we can again keep government out of social change. This is JAWAD HAKEEM, presidential candidate, U.S. election 2020. I'm also known as Prince Mahdi Hakeem, and I just want to make America think harder.